in consideration of the debt by way of commodity. Okay, by way of commodity. Okay, so the customer is given 6 months extension and pay the bank in commodity form. So the bank will have to take the risk of the commodity in that sense when the payment time comes. Okay, and the other option just now, you can convert it into salam capital, or you can actually get the bank to have an asset owned by the customer on lease for free. Basically, you can get the user fraud, the bank can lease out the asset and get some money from there. Okay, so these are some of the options. And there was actually an interesting paper written by Dr. Al-Fuzai that I've listened to during the recent Shara conference in Elfi, and he was suggesting a combination of a number of contracts in order to achieve the rollover of debt again. I think he was discussing about combining salam with hiwala, combining hiwala with tawarruk, I think. So a number of options that I didn't have time to summarize and share with you today. I was hoping that I would have more time to do that, but I didn't have the time to. So he was suggesting some other options and that would involve third parties. I'm not sure whether that is something which the banks want to do given the option of Ba'alina or Sarah Lisbeth, which is more straightforward. But basically what I want to highlight is we have the very conventional mindset actually in you say it's helping the customer and you still want to get extra, and the argument is we're helping the customer, yes, but why do you want to charge extra? Okay, of course the bank always argue we still have to pay our depositors profit. Okay, but if you look at it, the profit to the depositor is under mudarabah. When the bank does not profit, the bank can actually not pay. Technically the bank can choose not to pay their depositors, but then the bank would say it will not be competitive, so they will use their own money. Okay, so that's your business with your customer, but can you put that extra burden on this customer who's having financial hardship? As a lawyer, you should know there's privity of contract, right? The mudarabah with the depositor, the bank and the depositor, whereas the contract of financing between the bank and their customers, the bank and the customer have no privity to the mudarabah contract with the depositor, right? So to put that cost on your financing customer, I think it's not fair when you have your deposit contract with your mudarabah investment account holders, which technically you don't have to pay, but you choose to pay because to be competitive, and you want to put that cost on your financing customer because they delay. So that is a bit outstretched. I want to put the causation factor there. Okay, so that is, I hope I answered part of your question, if not all. Okay, so there was the question just now by the two.
I still didn't forget the gentlemen who were standing here for 10 minutes. We will definitely take your question. Please move forward. Thank you.
I'd just like to tell you all that I'm very much new in this field, so don't mind if my question is a bit irrelevant or of a very beginner level. So my question is that, from the viewpoint of debtor and creditor, if suppose an institution put up a certain fine of certain offense like a traffic ticket, right? And it's having a condition like if suppose you will not pay within 1 month, you have to pay a certain more fine on that. So is it allowed from the viewpoint of Sharia that the institution can force fine, means on a certain gap, means if suppose the offender is not able to pay in first month, you have to pay more, means in the second month. So is it allowed from the viewpoint of Sharia or not?
It's a very systemized, yeah. And I was not able to pay $100, and it went up to $500 after 2 months. So is this Sharia compliant or not?
I understand it's something related to riba, right? And something is, such system has been imposed in Saudi Arabia recently with the traffic tickets. Means they have installed the new cameras. They will take the pictures when you are over speeding, and if suppose you will not pay your fine within 1 month, you have to pay double of that amount. So is that allowed? Especially. Thank you very much.
If the fine comes from the government and the money that you pay goes to the treasury, the government, that is actually the original for gharamah penalty, and the money goes for public treasury and used for the public, and that would not be considered as riba for that one, because it's penalty for people who have offended. Okay, it's like, it depends. If crime is called ta'zir, this is more like gharamah, goes to the government, and the government will use it for public treasury and will be used for the public later. Okay, so it will not be within the meaning of riba unless it's a personal, it's personal property of somebody. It goes into your pocket and then you double the amount when the person cannot pay. That's different.
Okay, calm on the debtors. They should give more time to the people that when they are not able to in the situation to pay their debts, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the offenders, right? Suppose he can be a poor man, right? He cannot able to pay that fine in that first month. So how it will be differentiated from that point of view?
Okay. In the first place, as an offender, you can appeal to the authority in question. Okay. Can appeal.
Question can we take? Can we take 1, 2 more questions?
Doctor, I wanted to, conventionally, the banks, usually they have what they call share purchase loan. They give loan conventionally to some key employees of certain organization, or maybe they address it, anybody can go and take that loan and then use it to buy shares only. And then in Islamic banking, they modify and they come with a new product that using musharaka. Okay, the bank will give the customer certain amount of money. Not everybody. It's not the product is not open to everybody. It's open to key or kind of specialized kind of customers that have technical knowledge of the capital market. So they give them this kind of loan to buy shares, and then based on the agreement that if the share price increase, they are going to share the profit, okay, between the customers and the bank. So in the event that the capital market underperformed or the share prices goes down, so how can this be treated? It can be treated as a default from the side of the customers, and how can this issue be addressed by the bank? Yeah. Normally they do for the share purchase loan, which is conventionally share purchase loan.
Yeah, I know that one.
They use musharaka sometimes.
Yeah, musharaka, that means there's a joint purchase of the share between the customer and the bank?
Yeah, there is a JV between the bank and the customer, in the sense that the bank entrusted based on the skills of the customer.
So the customer is a mudarib?
It's a mudarib, exactly.
So it's a mudarabah, not musharaka?
It's a kind of mudaraba or musharaka, you can.
Okay,
because in the sense that if it is mudaraba only if he is given the money only to do this thing, but sometimes the banks also participate by checking the fluctuation of the prices of the shares. So they also monitor, they also participate. So that's why it cannot be, we cannot call it clearly mudaraba, so they normally call it musharaka.
Meaning that the customer also use some of the customer's money to purchase some of the shares.
Yes,
okay?
exactly.
So they will share the profit in proportion, in pro rata.
In the pro rata, yes.
And then it's based on capital gain only, or based on dividends as well?
Based on capital gain only.
Capital gain. So they are going to buy and sell,
Yeah, just for this, what they play in the capital market.
So if the performance of the market is low, then they are going to share in the losses as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So basically, the lack of performance in the market cannot be considered as default, because it's a normal market forces. So there's less profit, the bank will have to actually bear the losses together with the customer. Yeah, so that will not be considered as a default. Yeah, okay.
The gentleman with an embassy. Refer to page number 5. Regarding the late payment of debts, we all know any loan, any agreement made between page number 5, late payment of debts, which is number 9 actually. Okay. As we all know, any agreement made between a creditor and debtors, they must be under terms and conditions. One of the terms and conditions that both parties have to agree on the terms and conditions. Am I right? So, since we have this condition, why it is not permissible, is not allowed in Sharia to charge the customer any penalty if they delay in the payment. When I see it as if anybody does some mistake, by, for example, you're driving your car not using your seatbelt, the police can charge you a penalty. So how to ensure that my customer will not do this one in the future if I don't charge him any penalty? How to ensure that? And why this charge, when I charge him based on delay of any payment, it is not halal? How to ensure that he will come back to me and pay the loan that agreed on the specific date? This is my question.
Thank you very much. Bank started in Jordan was like a failure because everybody took loans and ran away and defaulted. So it's a valid question. Let us ask the expert too.